Hey, this is Britt with B Square Budgets. Today I wanted to show an overview of all the spreadsheets that we use to track all of our finances. Pretty much every time I come across an idea that I'm interested in and want to track, I find or I make or modify a spreadsheet so I can do that. So this is a compilation of a bunch of spreadsheets that I've made over the last couple of years. Just as our finances have progressed and my knowledge has progressed, and I assume that I'm going to make many more different kinds of spreadsheets as the years go on. I hope you find this helpful. I know I love looking at how other people track their information, and please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below.
This is our monthly financial calendar. I actually created this one pretty recently. I was inspired by watching all the talented budgeters who use planners here on YouTube, and I thought it would be handy to have a monthly spread to have a visual of when different financial things are happening throughout our month. So it's an easy place for me to keep reminders for myself to follow up on any transactions or if there are any budgeting tasks for me to do. For example, like the Wednesday before my husband's paychecks come in is when his pay stub gets posted online. So I can use that day to go on and update our spreadsheets for our monthly budget as well as our annual budget to track all the deductions and different things that come out of his paychecks because sometimes there's some fluctuation there. So basically, it just reminds me of things that are coming up and I can mark off when they've been completed or if something's been canceled. I also have some notes over here that things aren't necessarily assigned to a date that I want to complete during that month. And it's just a nice visual to see that everything is happening the way it should. So I also have this tab here. This is our payments tab. This is just where I track what payments that we have that are reoccurring monthly, every 3 months, biannually, annually, that sort of thing. This isn't a spreadsheet that I've developed very much, obviously. It's just kind of thrown together. I list all of the dates of my husband's paychecks. These green ones are just the months where we get 3 paychecks. And it's just a simple place that I use to fill in that monthly spreadsheet so that I can see when all of these things are happening. This is a loan amortization schedule. I did not create this spreadsheet. This is one I found online after searching for loan amortization spreadsheets. And I really liked this one in particular because it has the option of putting in different extra payment amounts each month. Instead, I found other ones where you can only put a standard $100 extra a month and see what those calculate. But this one, you're able to go through and put individual amounts that you're actually able to make. Currently, we just refinanced our house mortgage. So we're actually here at payment number 1, which will be due at the beginning of next month. And we are not currently paying extra on our mortgage. That is something we'll probably work on in the future, but it's not a huge priority for us at this moment. But I do like having this spreadsheet so that I can be really paying attention to how much is going to principal and how much is going to interest each month. And then when we will be able to put those extra payments to the mortgage, we'll clearly be able to see how that affects the total loan. And this will show how much you save in interest and all that kind of thing by being able to put those extra payments to it. So this is one that I really enjoy being able to look at. I have already done a specific video on this spreadsheet itself. This is our yearly budget, and obviously it's very useful to be able to see the numbers for the entire year. And so I will link the video that I have that goes a little bit more into depth of what our actual budget numbers are for the year 2020 and what that looks like. But this is basically an expanded form of our monthly spreadsheet, just in the whole form as far as what it looks like for the entire year and to see those changes throughout the year. I also use this as our sinking funds spreadsheet. This is a page where I calculate all the amounts that we are adding into our individual sinking funds, and then these are all the expenses that are being pulled from those sinking funds. And I actually do have these itemized and lined out on their own pages depending on the category. So for example, I will show you our one for home improvement. So this is our home improvement page. I have it broken down by month, and then all the items that we have bought for home improvement get calculated here and totaled up for each month, and then that number is automatically plugged back into that other page in that particular column and spot for how much we're spending in that particular category, so we can see how much is remaining for the rest of the year for any particular amount. And I really like being able to see this and then make adjustments as needed. Sometimes I'll add more to a certain fund if we're spending a lot in any particular category as the year is progressing. This is just a random spreadsheet that I use to track our utilities. We have a utility company that provides our electricity, water, and sewer. And so I put all the information from the bill as far as to see how much is going to each category so I can have our total for the year of what our electric, water, and sewer are separately, as well as the total of all of those combined. If you've seen some of my other videos, this form's probably going to look familiar. This is our monthly budget spread, and I make one of these for every month of the year. And they break down our income, regular expenses, debts, sinking funds for the month. And we always balance out to a zero-based budget. That's just what works for us. And over here, I have trackers for our variable expenses that vary from month to month as far as other income, grocery, miscellaneous, and gas. One of the other pages I use, I call it my current breakdown, and it shows the totals of all the accounts that we have at any given time and where the numbers in those accounts are allocated. So if we have, what's available for the current month, if there's any money in our personal amounts of money. We previously used to do these in cash, but now I'm just tracking them on here, and that just works easier for us. And we have so our sinking funds available in our checking account. Our emergency fund is currently sitting in our checking account. I have plans to put it in a high interest savings account, but just haven't done that yet. All of our assets are listed here, and our net worth is calculated here at the top. And this just gives us a picture of where all the money we have is and how it's allocated. How I calculate all these numbers, I will show you another spreadsheet where I use to track individual accounts to then auto-populate to this form to show me those specific numbers. So this is my current accounts, and so I have all of our accounts listed here. Some of these are actual accounts with banks or establishments of other kinds, and some of them are just personal accounts that I keep tracking some of our own information for our own things. And so like I have our checking account, and I just go ahead and enter all the transactions that happen with our checking account every time that they happen. I have the credit card that we use and how much is on there at any given time. We pay that off multiple times a month and never carry a balance on there. And then I have different other accounts, such as our retirement account. I like to track how much of a percent change happens daily in our investment and checkings accounts. This is another investment account that we have, and again, you can see the fluctuations in the amount and the percentages. My husband and I both recently started Webull accounts, and those are listed here. We have personal spending money, and this is where we track that. That's not actually a separate account, it's just an account that I hold within our checking account and keep track of it. I do also track like the Zillow house value estimates that they have to keep track of our house value, again, to populate that total net worth on that other page. And so these numbers are just pulled from here. It was a new formula that I learned in this spreadsheet to be able to populate the last number in a column so that whenever I'm inserting transactions, the number up here will auto change to be the most recent number, so the current number of whatever information I've inputted. This is a new one I've added this year, just a little net worth tracker and a graph to show our net worth progress throughout the year.
So that was a look at all of our spreadsheets that we currently are using. I hope it was helpful to you and maybe inspiring. I really encourage you that if you have information that you're curious of tracking in your own finances, to start finding spreadsheets for those. I have just learned so much from watching other people use spreadsheets, and anytime you have a question, like how do you track days until a certain date, there's usually a formula for that, and it's really easy to search that up and then be able to apply that to whatever your needs are. I just find it really exciting and a great tool in this process. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more spreadsheets, more budgets, I like to do monthly budget reports, net worth reports, creating the budgets at the beginning of the month, all those kind of videos. Please consider subscribing. Thank you so much.